Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for the delay on today's Facebook Live. My granddaughter recently got a new car. My husband found it for her. It's her first car. And he was working on it the last few days, getting it all perfect for her to drive, which is really cool. But she needed it. So we decided that we would go over there and take a tour this morning and then run a couple errands since we were out and about. So that's why I am on late. I'm checking to see if I am up and running. I don't see anyone watching yet, but could be. You never know. Let's see. Nope, not there yet. So hopefully I will be up soon. Actually, it does say one person is watching. I don't think that's me. So I'm going to reload this one more time. Kind of out of breath. I just rushed in here. You know, when you get home, we went grocery shopping. Hi, Gloria. And we had to put all the groceries away and then make a quick lunch. And time just went by really, really fast. But I do appreciate you being patient with me. So it is Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. The weather here is sunny. High of 44 today. Little coolish out, but not gonna complain at all. That sounds fine, Gloria. Good for you. Good for you. And hi, Sharon. Glad you are here. Nearly all of our snow from last week is gone. Want to thank you for your prayers for my daughter and granddaughter. They got to Florida. She played well. I think they came in like for a tie for second place or something in the tournament. They got home safely. So I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's it for that. Anyway, my name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Shar. Glad you guys are here. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 27 years, and I love what I do. I'm coming to you from Middle Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in the United States, and I am here to help you learn the joy of card making, paper crafting, to give you tips and tricks to make that easier for you, and to encourage you to send out your beautiful creations to others to make their day. As always, I will be drawing from all of the comments on this video and giving away the project that we make today. So be sure to leave your comments as many times as you like. Each comment counts as an entry. I love to know what you think. I love to know your thoughts on where your paper crafting is. I love to know how the weather is where you are. You engaging with me just makes me feel that much closer to you, and that is important to me. If I didn't do this, if I didn't think it mattered. So I love it when you leave your comments. Any comments entered today through midnight tomorrow, January 15th, will be entered, and I will draw for a winner the next morning. Congratulations. I'm still kind of out of breath. Wow, I must really be out of shape. Congratulations to the winner of my Funfold card from last time, Karen Dixon. Karen, that is in the mail and on its way to you. Thank you for watching and commenting. Also, if you can share my video, I so appreciate it when you do that. It gets me out to people that wouldn't otherwise see me, and as a small business, that is really important. It means the world to me. So if you do that, let me know, and I will give you a bonus entry. Is that all I want to say? I think that's all I want to say. Oh, see, this is how I'm not even ready. Hang on, guys. Let me just grab stuff. It's not going to be in its normal order probably, but we'll get through this. Let me really quickly. So, not too bad. Things will be upside down. We'll play with them as we go. I'm usually really organized, but like I said, we were running late, and I didn't want to postpone this again from this morning. So let's turn you around. You'll see my outside. We'll take you down to my table, and we'll do our best from that point on. So, okay, this is me, Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. My blog is crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/Crazy Stamping Lady. You can find me on YouTube under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. This is my hostess code for the month of January. If you are shopping with me this month and your order is under $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax, please use this code. This code gets me the most benefit for your order. and it allows me then to give the most back to you in prizes and giveaways and bonuses and free kits. So I really appreciate when you do it. As I've mentioned before, this will be going away in a couple months. Come February, I'll start talking about the new benefits plan we're going to have, which is amazing also. So that is all good. But for now, through Celebration, please still use my hostess code. Normally at this point, I show cards, and I actually do have cards, but I forgot to bring them in here, so I will have to show them next time. Sorry about that, ladies. Annual catalog, just going to move it aside. You know this is still going. It's just amazing. It is a wonderful catalog. Tons of fun stuff in here. Don't forget about it during these special months of Celebration. Let me turn my papers around here. A few things going on. I do have my spring mini catalog paper share. So for $28.50, you will get a sampling, a quarter pack of each of these 7 designer series paper from the mini catalog. The $28.50 includes them cut into 6x6, packaged and labeled so you know what you're getting, and then they'll be sent or given to you. If you need me to ship them to you, I can do priority shipping, and it'll be $10, so a total of $38.50. And I will give you a bonus of a quarter package of the Celebration Fruit Salad Designer Series paper for free. I am keeping this open until January 31st, 2025, or until all of my spots fill up. Right now, I have 4 spots left. So if you still want to get in on this, there are 4 spots left. Let me know and we'll get you in. You can drop me an email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com and I can send you all this information to look over before you decide. You can pay me by Venmo or by personal check. If you're paying by check, just let me know that, and I will not mail yours out till I receive the check, but that is totally fine. I have a few classes this month. 2 in-person classes on January 24th and 25th here in my home in Murfreesboro. I also have an online class being held in a private Facebook group, and that'll be online on Friday, January 31st. Both of these classes will make 4 cards, 2 each of 2 different designs, plus a 3D type bonus project that we will have. So that is tons of fun. Everything will be prepped and ready to go for you. The only thing is, with the online class, you will have to do your own stamping. I cannot stamp your images, but the only stamping we are doing on it is sentiments. So you should be good to go if you have some general sentiments. I am using the Hearts of Elegance online exclusive bundle for my projects on here. So if you love that bundle, go ahead and purchase it. But again, otherwise, just have some general sentiments. They do not even need to be Valentine's. Anything related to love or friendship, anniversaries, weddings, any of those kind of sentiments will probably work. Let me know if you're interested. My in-person classes are $20 each. My mailed class, my private mailed class, is $25 each, and that gets mailed to you, and that includes the shipping for that class. Again, you can always email me, crazystampinglady@gmail.com, and I will give you full details. Paper Pumpkin. So January's Paper Pumpkin subscription period is over. We're moving into February's. This goes until February 10th. So if you subscribe now, it would be for the Hello Spring set. This set has a whole seeds and gardening type theme to it. You'll make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. There's some special pre-cut pieces with bronze foil on them. They have some unique spring-themed envelopes that go with them, which is very cool. The classic spot that's included is Petunia Pop. And it coordinates with the little die add-on. So you can only get this die add-on if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, and then you would order it separately, but this does coordinate. And you can see these little dies here are going to cut out a chive and a chive blossom that is in this kit. So that is perfect for that. The reason I mention this is if you do a month-to-month subscription, that is wonderful. But if you want to pre-subscribe, either a 3-month subscription or a 6-month or a year, then you can earn free Celebration products because it will count towards your total on your order. So think about doing that if you're trying to bring your order up and get to the next level for Celebration. My free monthly card kit Last month's card kits that were sent out, I did that class yesterday. So if you want to see that, it's right here on this page. Just scroll down and you can find it and see the projects we make. If you order from me in the month of January, using my hostess code, or your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax, you will earn a free card kit and class from me. 3 free kits for a $50 order, 3 kits plus a bonus project for a $75 order, and 3 kits, a bonus project, and a half a pack of an embellishment for a $100 order. Any smaller orders will still receive a free handmade card from me and be entered into my monthly order prize drawing. My February class for the kits earned in January will be mailed out by February 1st. And the class will be held right here in this Facebook page on Monday, February 10th at 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, guys, on to celebration in our new mini catalog. So I'm using some products out of these catalogs today, and I want to tell you right up front, my project today was totally inspired by our Global Inspiration Stamp Team presentations this past weekend. If you are not part of that group, consider joining. It is a free online group, and every 2 months we do a series of about between 9 and 12 presentations, depending upon how many women are available that weekend. It always has a different theme. So this month's theme was celebration. We did some wonderful presentations. Oh my gosh, I was so impressed by them. And I learned a lot from these ladies. So this group is a thank you group for any of my customers or team members. If you fall into those categories, if you've ever ordered from me, attended a class with me, or you are one of my team members, I can invite you to join that. So just let me know if you're interested. Either leave a comment here or email me, and I will get you in that group. You can go back and watch all of our old presentations, plus we will have new ones coming up in a couple months. So, inspired by that, and this is funny because last Friday I did a Fun Fold Friday, and I used the same paper that I'm using today, and I apologize for doing 2 projects with so much similarity 2 times in a row, but like I said, I was totally inspired by this. And if you stick around till the end, I will show you my projects from the Global Inspiration Stamp Team. Now, I can't share the other ladies, that's part of the agreement, but we can share our own to our customers if we want. So I will show you mine, all of my alternatives, and you'll see some fun stuff. So stay with me today. Okay, so the product from Celebration that I am using is the Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper, which I also used on my video last Friday. It is gorgeous. I'm going to show it to you up close and personal in a minute. Such pretty paper. It is free if you want to choose that with a $60 online purchase. Okay, so that is, I'm just going to say that about Celebration right now. I'm just going to tell you what we're using today. And then out of the mini catalog, I didn't mark my pages this time. I told you I'm running later than I thought I would be, but we can make this work. Why don't I just use my index, right guys? The index always works. That's what it's for. Page 39. Out of this catalog, we are going to be using the beautiful Butterflies Sweet Collection. Only I'm not using the bokeh paper, okay? So just be aware of that. I'm going to use the Designer Series paper from Celebration. This would also work, guys. You could probably use this paper to make the card I'm making today, and it would be just as beautiful. But I'm combining the 2 products. So on page 38 and 39, check it out in your catalog. Beautiful, beautiful samples. And this was what I used for my Global Inspiration Stamp Team presentations. And this is what I will show you samples of at the end. So stick with me. Okay, guys, Fun Fold Tuesday instead of Friday. We're going to do this. Here is my recipe list. I will put this back out at the end so that you can take a picture if you want. I will also post it in the comments. I still have some to post from yesterday, but I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. So here is that beautiful bokeh bundle suite type thing. It's Beautiful Butterflies is the actual bundle, and it is a stamp set, dies, and a hybrid die embossing folder. So The stamp set's gorgeous. It includes all these butterfly images, the words "time to celebrate," "in case you need me, I'm here," "hello," "happy birthday, so thankful for you," little dots that you can add to butterfly wings, or you can use like in the background to create just kind of like a beautiful image on the background, kind of dull and muted. I do that in one of my cards, I think, so hopefully you'll see what I mean by that. Great stamp set on its own, but it comes with these amazing dies, and there's 2 sheets of them, so it's lots of dies, guys, lots of dies, lots of layers that we can use. The only one I'm going to be using to cut today for our card is this really detailed little butterfly here, so I'm going to pull that out. This one here makes a special little flap of a butterfly that you could put on a note card, and I do have a sample to show you with this. It's very unique. And you can line up these little lines with the top of your cardstock to cut it right at the crease, or I'm going to show you how to make a little like note card with it, so watch for that at the end. Then it also cuts out another butterfly shape, which I pre-cut out, some little bitty butterflies if you want them, a sentiment, the bodies for the butterflies, lots of great pieces in here. Just a reminder, when I store my dies, I store them in the plastic case that they come in. And because this has 2 sheets of dies, oops, this one's upside down, I mark them with a 1 and a 2. That way when I look at this through the plastic, I can see there's more than 1 sheet in here, and I'll want to pull it out and see what I have to play with. And then these go with the hybrid die. So this die will, this embossing folder will emboss all these beautiful butterflies, and we're not using it today, but I will show you a sample with it. And if you want, you can use this cutout right here. This die cut right here will fit right into this butterfly, and you can run it through and cut that out and emboss it at the same time. And I did do a sample of that, so I can show it to you. So you can see this was right here, and I just placed the die cut right inside of my folder, closed it up, ran it through, and it die cuts and embosses at the same time. Do not be afraid to use these together. You can use them separate. I could just emboss this page, or I could die cut separate, but they work wonderful together, and it does not damage your folder. I've probably used this one 4 or 5 times, but I have other ones from other sets that I've used 20 and 30 times, and it hasn't changed my embossing folder at all. They are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. When you use these, you're going to use them like a 3D embossing folder because of the die in there, so be aware of that. So this is what comes out when you emboss and die cut. Isn't that pretty? And you can either use this embossed raised side on the butterfly or the debossed side, whichever you like. I honestly really like the debossed side on here, which surprised me, but they're both beautiful, and that's how that's going to come out. Okay, enough about that for now. Let's pull out the pieces to our card. Now, as I said, I was inspired by the Global Inspiration Stamp Team, and we're going to make a gorgeous card using this butterfly today, and it is going to be a faux step card. So 2 of the ladies ended up doing this. When we coordinate, we're really just kind of coordinating a theme, and then we let the demonstrators pick what they want to show you. And 2 of them ended up doing a similar card to this. Both of them did their placements a little bit differently and used 2 different suites and sets, and they look totally different. Mine is going to look totally different from both of those, I'm sure, when you see it at the end. So even if you've seen this done on the Global Inspiration Stamp Team, stick with me, because I think you're still going to like this. So I am going to take a piece of Petunia Pop cardstock, and this cardstock is 5.5 by 8.5, which is what you would start out with a regular card base before you fold it. And we're going to score it along this long side, and we are going to score this at 3 inches, and I'm going to try to be really careful on these folds so that this folds correctly. 3 inches and 6 inches and 7 1/4 inches. Okay. And then I have another piece of the petunia pop. This is 3 inches by 6 inches, and we are going to score this at 4 1/4. Okay, I think that is all of my scoring, so I'm going to get my little cutter out of the way here. Okay, so now we have these two pieces. For the large piece, what you want to do is you want to score, let me make sure I do this right. So at the 3-inch score line, I'm just going to fold that over and give it a nice crease with my bone folder. At the 6-inch side, I'm going to fold that back on itself and give it a nice crease. And then at the 7 1/4, I'm going to fold it again and give it a nice crease. So what you end up with is this. You end up with like a tent on this side and a smaller tent here, or just a zigzag, you know, of mountains and valleys and mountain and valley. So this is going to be the beginning of our card, just like that. Then on the other piece of petunia pop, we are going to crease at that 4 1/4 mark and use my bone folder to get a nice crease on that. And this piece is going to get attached to the card like that to make it this faux step card. Now step cards are folded and cut and you have the little steps on them. The reason this is called a faux one is because we're not cutting this at all to make our steps. We're just adding it with this other piece of cardstock. So if you see a step card or a faux step card, doesn't really matter. You're getting the same kind of type of image. But to me, this one's a little easier because I don't have to cut my pieces to fold and make my step. So this is the one I would usually go with. And actually, I've done these before. Sorry, I got a little glue on my mat here. I've done these before, but the Global Inspiration Stamp Team reminded me of them. I forget about some of the things that we make. So now we're going to decorate this. So to decorate it, I have a piece of that designer series paper. So let me show you that right here before we move on so you can see again how beautiful it is. This is the Bloom Impressions and it is free as a level 1 celebration. And it's gorgeous, guys. If you don't want to see gorgeous, close your eyes. Pink, yellow, pink and kind of a peachy together. Whoops, got the back sides of these. Multicolor. Purples and this beautiful floral. Aren't they gorgeous? And I saw these in Celebration, figured I would get them, but when I saw them in person, I was wowed. And then on the back of each of those designs are other designs. There's 3 floral that are kind of watercolory washy, and 3 that are just that watercolor wash technique. So gorgeous, gorgeous paper. We are using the purple one again, which is what I think we used last Friday. I've made so many cards now I'm maybe losing track, but I think this was one of the colors we used. I have a piece of this that is 1 inch by 5 1/4. Let me grab my seal. And we are going to use this centered on this very bottom flap here. Now, I do not think this design has a right or wrong. I think the flowers are all mixed up and go every which direction. Because when I turn it like this, it seems right. But when I turn it like this, it seems right. And when I turn it, you get what I mean. They're just like every which way. So I don't think you have to worry too much about the way you place these on your card. This piece of designer series paper is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to add this. So thank you to Joy and Angie. I think that was the 2 ladies who made this card on the Global Inspiration Stamp Team presentations. Thank you for sharing and reminding me of this great fold. So we're going to come in here and lay this one. Trying to get it pretty darn straight here for you. And so that's going, so this is on the front flap. And then you have a blank slot. And then you have this on the next flap. Just like that, okay? Then on this other piece here, I have a piece of Fresh Freesia cardstock, which coordinates so beautifully with the Petunia Pop. And this is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. And I'm going to come in here and add this to this front layer on here, centering it. Such a pretty color. I never used to be a pink and purple girl, but the colors that Stampin' Up! Has come out with pink and purple have made me a believer. I love, love, love them. So now what we want to do with this, actually, you know what, I'm going to add one more layer before we add it. So this is a piece of that same Designer Series paper, but I'm going to use the back side of it that has that watercolor wash look. And this is 2.5 by 3 3/4, and this is going to fit right on top of that Fresh Freesia. Now this card does have a lot of layers to it, so be aware you may need to put a 2nd ounce postage or a non-machinable stamp on it if you mail it. You might not, just check it out. If it's not more than 1/4 inch and it's not more than 1 ounce, you'll be okay. But we're going to be adding some beautiful stuff to this, and to me it's worth it if I had to do that. Or I can give this to someone in person and not worry about that. Okay, so there are our layers for the front of this. Now we're going to attach it to our card. And the way I'm going to do that is this piece is, like I told you, 5.5 inches. And this piece across is 3 inches. So that means I have 2.5 inches left. And if I divide that in half, I want 1 1/4 inch on each side of this if I want to center it perfectly. Do you remember doing that? Any of you who are as old as me, when we used to type and you'd have to count the number, if you wanted to center something, you would know the full number across of letters you could put, and then you would count the numbers in your title, and then you'd subtract it from the full number and divide it in half to know how many spaces you went in. I'm probably really dating myself here, but I was a secretary for a long time and I do remember that skill. So we're going to come in and I'm going to place this here at 1 1/4, and ironically I have it exactly where it needs to be. I guess I've done this enough that I kind of know. So I'm going to take my seal and just put 2 stripes across the bottom because I know that is not going to be wider than my 1 inch. We'll come back in here and I'm going to lay that right at the bottom. And now I should have 1 1/4 inches on each side, and it looks like it's pretty darn even. So this is only attached to that bottom front layer, okay? Then we're gonna open this flap, and this is gonna come down and lay right on the back. So I'm just gonna put 1 strip of seal along there, because that should not be wider than what I need to lay this on there. And it looks like that's going to work just great, okay? So that's how we're putting this card together. Now when I open this up, I have this connected little step card, and it will stand up on your desk like a little easel kind of. So if you need to do that and want to do it, just watch it again if it's a little confusing to you. Now we do have a piece for the back of this card. I'm just going to place it on right now before I start adding all of my front. It's going to go right here. And this piece is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4 of basic white. And it's going to actually cover up where that little seam is on there. And it's going to be the place where I can write my little note to the recipient. So let's do a little stamping on here. I'm going to grab my Tuxedo Black Memento ink and the words "Time to Celebrate," and ink that up good. And I'm going to put this down just a little bit from the top, not very much, but that very top I can't write on because of that seam that's going to be on there. It would be difficult, so I'm going to come down a little bit with this and center it side to side, just like that. And then one of the little butterflies out of the stamp set is this little kind of side butterfly. So we're going to ink that up, and I'm going to put that right over here to the side like that. So "Time to Celebrate." And we're going to add this to the back of our card. with some seal. And for this one, I'm going to put seal along this one whole edge. That's the top, I hope. Yep, it is. And then in these corners. And the reason I'm going along that whole edge is because of that seam. I want to be sure this is stuck down completely on there. So I'm adding a little more seal than I might otherwise do. Just like that. And now you can see that's really not noticeable at all where that seam was on the back. It completely covers it up. So that's the back of our card. Time to celebrate. In fact, since we're doing our stamping, let's just do our envelope right away. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on our envelope. With the time to celebrate down here. And my little butterfly right here, like it's coming down to land on that sentiment. Just like that. And then we also have a little bitty piece for our front sentiment right here. And this piece is 1/2 inch by 3 inches. And we're going to stamp happy birthday on that. So my Memento black ink, I'm going to center happy birthday as closely as I can. And that'll be our front sentiment. And now I think we are done with our stamping. So let me get these out of the way. Okay, so now the next step. I have pre-cut that back solid piece of the body of my butterfly, as well as the little body and antennas that can go on top of there. Now, if I was just using this piece like this, I wouldn't need it, but we're going to add something special to this butterfly. Let me grab a few things here. I'm going to grab my mini cut and emboss machine. And in fact, you know what, before I put that up there, I want to show you the paper we're using. So to make our butterfly today, we are going to be using this beautiful fresh freesia glimmer paper. This is from the 3-color glimmer paper. I always buy our glimmer papers, at least 1 pack, and if they go away, I keep them because in the future, I might want a little glimmer accent for something. So to me, the glimmer papers are worth getting. They go a long way because you can see I usually cut small things out of them, don't use them up, and they last a long time. So this one, though, is on the last chance list. And I looked this morning before we ran our errands, and it was still there. And it is only $5.25 a pack. You get 2 sheets of the fresh freesia, 2 sheets of the pretty peacock, and 2 sheets of the, help me out guys, petal pink glimmer paper. And this is going to go away. So remember, the last chance list is only there while it's there. At any moment it could sell out and be gone. So I love this. I wanted to share it with you once more before it's gone. It's so pretty and it works so beautifully for these butterflies. So let me show you how I'm going to cut my butterfly out here. Okay, we'll just pull this back out. I am going to take my wax paper, and we talked about this last time, and I'm going to place it down on the front of my plate, okay, just on the bottom. Wax paper. This is just going to help all those little pieces of my butterfly release. On top of that, I'm going to take my glimmer paper. Now, I haven't done the glimmer paper with wax paper. I forgot last night when I made my sample, and it came out perfect. So if this doesn't work, we will recut one out. I don't think this wax paper will stick to the glimmer paper, but I haven't tried it on here, and it's been a long time since I've cut glimmer paper this way, so we'll see. I put my glimmer paper face down so that the back of my die is going on the white side of it, just like that, instead of cutting against the glimmer, and it seems to cut better to me. We're going to place our other plate right on top of here and run this through. Now, wish me luck, guys. Hope that that wax paper works on here. If it doesn't, I'll have to eat my words and we'll just try one without the wax paper. But the wax paper is a great cutting tool. I'm just not sure how it's going to react with this glimmer paper. Fingers are crossed. Oh, I think it's going to be just fine. Look at that. Okay, so you can see this wax paper. It'll come right off of the glimmer paper. It's actually just on the pieces that are going to pop out. I'm going to take this butterfly and just pull it out of there. And because of that waxed paper, look at how easily all of these little pieces just fall out. Now, when you cut through glimmer paper, sometimes they stick in there because of the glimmer edge. And also when you have an intricate die like this, sometimes they stick in there and they don't want to come out. These are great. Some of my tiniest ones are still sticking, so let me get a pokey tool, just the tiny little ones. And we're going to poke, that's not my pokey tool, that is my stylus. Here's my pokey tool. Let's see if we can poke these out with two. Oh, those are all out. Let me see if there's some back here. Those are all out. These are pretty much all out. So that really does help, guys. That wax paper trick is the best. It helps so much with all of your intricate dies. Look at this beautiful butterfly. Oh my goodness, my heart just melted when I cut this out last night and made my card. Okay, worked good. Couple little pieces stuck in here. You'll just take your pokey tool and poke those out. Actually, I can probably just hit it down on my table and they'll come out. I'm not going to get rid of this. I keep this because I cut little things out of here yet, and I don't want to waste any of my glimmer paper. But the rest of this we will trash. So all of these little, which are pretty in themselves, right? You hate to kind of get rid of them, but we're going to throw them in my little catch here. And we'll get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is put our butterfly together. Look how pretty this becomes when I lay this onto the black. To me, that is just striking the way it, I don't know, it just pops on there. So I love the black. I'm going to kind of curve my butterfly wings up on both of these so that I just have the body so I get some dimension on here. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and come and curve these wings back. So we folded them up so the body is level, and then I'm going to curve them back. And when you do this, you want to be a little gentle. You don't want to ruin your butterfly, so just take your time, kind of curve them so that you get that feeling of those butterfly wings lifting up off the page. I'm going to do the same thing with these. So these I want to be really gentle with. I'm just kind of rolling my bone folder along with a little pressure and holding it and kind of curving it because I do not want to tear these gorgeous wings. I see there's one little piece stuck in there. Let's see if that'll come out. It's tiny, tiny, and probably wouldn't matter, but no, I think I need my pokey tool. Thought I could do it, but I can't. It's just hanging on to something for dear life there. Oh, there we got it. Okay. Now I'm going to curve that again. So again, this is easy to do, but you want to be very gentle and deliberate, holding the top of your paper as you curve it so that it does not tear. And then we're going to add this to the black underneath to make our gorgeous butterfly. And to do that, I'm going to use glue dots because we're just going to put them on the back of the butterfly's body. Give it a firm press and pick it up, and I'm going to do 2 of them on here. Now, if your glue dots stick over at all, like I can see them through the little holes on my butterfly, all I want to do is before I place it on my black cardstock, roll the glue dot back onto itself. You can use fingernails if you have them. If you don't, you can use a stylus or your snips, just something that can catch the edge of your glue dot and roll it back onto itself. And then we're going to place this onto our butterfly. So let's try to get it centered right where I want it. Leaving a little bit of the black showing around all the wings. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and give that a really nice press so those glue dots adhere perfectly onto the butterfly. Look how pretty. Now I could leave it like that, but I really thought that the body of the butterfly should be black. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to lay that little body that I cut out of my butterfly right down the center to kind of set that off like that. So for that, I'm also going to use, guess what guys, glue dots. My favorite are glue dots. I love glue dots. I don't know what I would do without glue dots. I know I sound a little obsessed, but it's true. I do love glue dots. So I just placed one behind the head. We're going to place one behind the body. And same thing, if anything is, these pretty much fit, but if anything is sticking over, just roll it back onto the black. And then we're going to place this little guy, picking him up again, right across the body. So it is covering up the very middle of that glimmer, but that's okay. And it's placing so the antennas lay right on top of the other antennas. And there is the body of our butterfly. What do you think? I really want to know, guys. I think it is so beautiful, and I love that curve it has on it that makes it feel like it's trying to fly up off of my card. We're going to take this and we're going to put it on to the front of our card. Now, when I place this, I'm going to try to center it side to side, and I'm going to make sure that my wings don't come any higher than the top of the card, because I want this to fit in a regular envelope, and it'll do that as long as I contain those wings not going across the top of the card here. So for this, I'm just going to take, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to take Tombow. Let's do Tombow for this. Let's try another thing. I'm going to take Tombow and put it right down the middle of the body of this butterfly, just like that. And then again, I'm going to come in here and we're going to place it, and I want it to be side to side even. So I'm centering it and making sure that my wings are not going above the top of the card, which they are not. And I'm just going to give that a little push, pull my wings up to make sure they have that movement to them, just like that. Isn't that beautiful? I think it is just so gorgeous. We're going to add the happy birthday, and this happy birthday fits exactly side to side on this center piece. So let's just put some seal along there. I'm going to center it between the bottom of this card and the body of that butterfly. Happy birthday. And then one more thing I want to add to this. We want to add some bling to its body. And you've seen me use these before on the Global Inspiration Stamp Team. I've used them before here on my lives. I am in love with these itty bitty bokeh mix gems. I think they are fantastic. And we are going to use 3 of these opalescent ones to put on the body of this butterfly. So let me get my Tombow. I'm just going to place one on the head in the center, and one dot just below the head, and one just a little further down. So 3 little dots of Tombow. You can see they're very tiny dots. You do not need a lot. Let me get my, see, this is what I hate when I think, here it is, my Take Your Pick tool. I think I'm so ready, and I'm like, where is it? I'm going to warm up the putty on the end of my Take Your Pick tool because it is cold in my room here. So we're just going to warm it up. You can see I have a very little ball of putty on there. You do not want a lot. If you have too much, it will not work well in picking up what you need. So it's nice and warm now. We're going to pick up one of these larger opalescent discs and place it right onto the head of my butterfly. And then there's smaller ones. So we're going to pick up a smaller one and lay it right here onto that second dot of glue. And another small one. Yeah, that one looks like it's doubled. Oh no, that's not even a small one of those. That is one of the beads. Let me find another small one right here and lay that right here onto the body of our butterfly, just to give that little bit of shimmer on its body. And that is our card, guys. This is the front, this is the back, and this is how it stands up on your desk or wherever you want to display it. And I think it is so beautiful. So I'm going to bring the instructions back in if you want to take a screenshot, and then I am going to show you all of my projects from this weekend's Global Inspiration Stamp Team. So here's my envelope with my card. Here are the instructions. Let me make sure they're completely on the screen. They may not be. They may be coming off the bottom. It's a lot of instructions for this one because I included all of the scoring and everything. So let's see. once this comes on screen. Oh, I think we've got it. So yeah, so if you want to take a screenshot of that, you have everything you need to duplicate this card. I think it's gorgeous. I will post pictures of these also in the comments, so they will be there for you too. Now let me show you. So on my presentation, like I said, I focused on this suite of products, and here is the card that I demonstrated. This beautiful happy birthday card. It does use the bokeh DSP. It uses the little half round kind of moonstone type gems from the Itty Bitty Bokeh Mix. I used the Starstruck embossing folder, which is an embossing folder from Celebration that you can also get at a $60 level, to emboss the background on here, as well as the flap on my envelope. So I loved the way that looked. This was the one I demonstrated ahead of time. Before the event, I did a prototype. So here that is, with just a little bit different colored background on it, but everything else is the same, and I used different gems for the body. And then I showed a few other examples. So this was one. This is that special butterfly die I was talking to you about that you could make a note card with. So this opens up and you have the butterfly shape on each side. To do that, all you do is lay the die on a folded piece of cardstock, making sure that tips of it are just past the edge of the cardstock, and cut it out. And when you cut it out, then you have this little card. Now you could use this as a miniature note card alone to send, but I layered it onto a piece of that Bokeh Designer Series paper and a single card base just to give it some stability. But I love it. I love how that turned out. I love having that shape to play with. So that was lots of fun. And then you saw that piece that I showed you earlier where I embossed and cut out the butterfly at the same time. So here's a card I made. I embossed the whole layer for the background, and then I embossed and cut out one of the butterflies in a coordinating color and just popped it up on top. So this is Lost Lagoon, and this is Pool Party. Did a bunch of gold little accents on here, and I love how it turned out. So that shows you the embossing folder and the cutout in action. And I had one more. This uses the little butterflies. Now the little butterflies in this set are very cool because there's two of them. So you can cut out two at a time, as well as the bodies for them, which I didn't use on here, but you can cut out two of the bodies at a time. This is just a white on white card. I did some, used my brushes to add a little bit of blue to the background. Here's where I use those polka dots I was talking to you about. And then I have 3 different colors of butterflies that I cut out of the Designer Series paper and just kind of framed my sentiment. And I think it turned out so pretty. And one more. This is the last sample I showed. This is a little brighter. It also uses that Bokeh Designer Series paper. But for this one, I just added the paper on top of the coordinating cardstock on black to make it really pop. And then added some black butterflies, like the silhouettes of them on there, the little ones. And I love that one too. I just had so much fun playing with this whole suite of products. So I'm probably going to do a blog post and post these also for everyone to see. But I do want to remind you again, if you are a customer or on my team or have come to a class, please let me know and I can invite you to this group. Again, here is the card we made today so that you can see it as I'm closing out here. I am so happy you took some time to be with me. I hope you liked this project and that some of the tips and tricks I shared with you today resonate with you. Don't forget to leave your comments for a chance to win this card. So again, every comment counts as an entry. You have till tomorrow night, midnight, to enter to win, and I would love to hear from you in your comments. Finally, I would love to have your business. If you are looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or Stampin' Up! Products, or if you're interested in joining my Crazy Stamping Ladies team, there's a great special going on now during Celebration. Just contact me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I'm here to help you, to be your creative coach. And if you just would like a catalog from me, let me know that also and I will get them out to you. I plan to be back here again on Friday at 10:30, hopefully, with some more creative inspiration. And I hope you'll find time to spend with me then. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.